The Domino Effect, everybody.
There it is. There it is. I am
I'm
Zen.
Sammy.
Oh wow. All right, fuck you too.
Wow. Okay.
Let's
Zen,
run
go
it.
ahead,
Let's
go
run it
ahead.
back. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Welcome back to the
Okay.
Domino Effect. Jesus.
I usually go first. I don't know what. Whatever.
I
it's
tried.
fine.
I tried to do something different.
Okay. Here, you announce us, and
I
then I'll
just
go and
did.
then you go, and then that's how it goes
I
from now
just
on.
did.
Okay. No, from now on. All right.
Well,
See, you want me
We
to
have a
announce
guest
now?
with us today.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god.
We never announced it.
Welcome back. Fucking hell. Alright, stop. Stop it. Right now. Pause. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to the Domino Effect, everybody.
I'm Zen.
I'm Sammy, and we have a guest with us today. Introduce yourself, guest.
hello.
Oh my god.
Yes, this is my tagline. I'm making it a thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna annoy the absolute mess out of everybody, but they're gonna love it eventually.
Eventually.
I'm Abukitty.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the Domino Effect, Kitty. So Zen, what's the topic for today,
What
sir?
is the topic for today, Kitty?
So I heard that recently we talked about dreams, but I thought it'd be fun to flip it on the dark side and talk about some nightmares.
Yes. So we talked a little bit about dreams in our last podcast. More so, it was definitely more nightmares. But we thought we'd just do like a part two. And we're actually going to be kicking off Spooktober. We are
Spooktober.
doing a whole month of Spooktober stuff for the podcast. So this will be technically part two of the part one, but dreams I think are going to be a continuous thing. We're probably going to talk about dreams and nightmares and symbolism of dreams and nightmares with more down the road and things like that. But no, this is our first podcast for October. Kitty, are you excited for that?
I
I don't.
Here's the thing. Excited is not enough of a word, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Halloween season is like the best. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to think that aliens were real until I
Oh.
realized it was special effects, and that's what made me want to go into like special effects makeup
Oh
when
shit.
I was into that world. Because I like snuck downstairs and watched my dad fall asleep to Men in Black 2.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
funny. Those
I
movies are
literally
great.
thought like, yeah, you know the Bermuda Triangle? I thought that's where they like kept all the aliens that they
Oh.
would like cast as actors in these movies, like all those weird creatures.
That's so funny.
You thought they were all in the Bermuda
I
Triangle.
thought they were there, yeah, and they would film it there and then bring it back to Hollywood to edit.
Hello?
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Like normally,
No, I
like
love
Area
I love
51.
that Halloween kicks off all the holidays. Like I love holiday season in general, but Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite holidays, and I go ham on both.
You go
So
ham
I'm
on the pumpkin
excited.
fucking spice. What do you mean?
I also go ham on the mint mocha. Hello, Christmas. That we're gonna do the nightmare portion. We could either talk. We'll just, I guess, kind of talk about like dreams or nightmares that we've experienced. I've kind of already went in depth, as you guys know, 2 weeks ago into my nightmares. But I can pass on the mic, the metaphorical mic, to Kitty for a minute, and she'll talk about hers. I have a lot though, as y'all already know from just extensive. I might go into a more recent one that I've told Zen about, but I'll have to dial it down graphically.
Please and thank you.
Because it's very intense. But yeah, so Kitty, ma'am, sir,
Oh,
Then take it
jeez.
away.
Snackos.
Snackles. Um, so yeah, I used to, back when I was between the ages of like 6 and 15,
Hmm.
my brain during sleep was trash. It was trash to me. It was trash to me very often and without remorse. It was I have so many nightmares to choose from that I'm
Jeez.
trying to like narrow them down to the least scarring ones to the
Yeah,
most
I
scarring
mean,
ones. Uh
yeah.
it was a fun childhood. This is probably why I don't trust sleep now, as y'all can
I
tell.
feel that. I feel that.
Uh yeah. Uh oh, there's let's see. There's one that I always loved where it was just me dreaming about me living out my normal day,
Hmm.
but there was just like a shadow figure with just the most intense, like yellow to like a piercing blue, and then like an absolute like black, just like demonic eye. That's the only thing you can see through the shadows, just like staring at you at everything you
Oh,
do. And then every time you look at it, just something bad happens.
Oh God.
Just
all
just
right.
something just something and it gets immensely worse. So you have to like know that this evil thing is over your shoulder, but you can't look at it because every time you
Hmm.
do,
What?
it causes you harm.
Why is this your favorite?
No, this isn't my favorite. This
Oh.
is this is this is this is one of the less scarring ones.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just normal everyday activities. Like I'm dreaming of going to school the next day. So
Okay.
when I and the thing is like if I die in the dream, I just wake up, but sometimes I'm still dreaming.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
have the
No.
same
still
thing.
dreaming of going to school the next day, but when I get on the bus, the person that sits next to me is the thing again. Like, hello, we're here. We're going to school today. Except it
Jesus.
didn't talk. It was just static.
Like TV static?
Like TV and radio static, like
Oh
mixed
Mm.
shit.
together.
I have
Yeah,
to
that
say,
was
radio
fun.
static is more scary to me than TV. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
just imagine that just both of them are next to each other, just fucking up.
Yeah, no.
That's a pass.
Yeah.
Just like anytime it wants to speak to you. So just
That's all.
don't
So
look
that's
at
all
it
you
and
would hear when it would speak to you, like the figure.
yes.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
So like I would be scared of waking up until I knew I could actually wake up, but I didn't know when I was actually awake. Like I would
Fuck.
just have to wait throughout the day for some weird thing to happen because for some reason I would dream about real life and then
Hmm.
shit goes left.
Fuck.
So, so wait, so you would still be, so you'd be, so in the last podcast that you guys heard, like I called them, there's no like real scientific word for it. I kind of explained a little bit about it, but like, so you would basically like still, so would you be like actually like awake like living ghost, or would you just be awake in the dream and then wake up and then everything would be fine? Or did you like go throughout your day and still like this thing would still be kind of like you were still sleeping, sort of like your mind would play tricks on you as you were awake.
Um, I mean, there may have been days where it's like I kind of saw like thought I saw a glimpse of it in my peripheral, but like
Okay.
it was mainly just like, uh,
Did you still feel
am
like
I?
you were dreaming, or like when you were awake, or was it more of just like you woke up in the dream and thought you were awake?
Yeah, up until like the days where my mom would make me breakfast were the
Hmm.
days where I knew I was awake. Because in the
Hmm.
dream
Mm.
it was always my grandma making me breakfast. Because
Okay.
my subconscious knew I hated my grandmother's cooking, and I am not afraid to say that. I don't I who deep fries pancakes?
What?
Who does it?
What?
Hello? Wait a minute.
What?
Hello?
Deep fried pancakes.
That
I am
that does
not.
not sound appetizing at all.
This is what I had to grow up with, and I was
What
not
the
allowed to
fuck?
complain.
What the fuck?
We respect
Alrighty
our
then.
elders, so you can't complain about the deep fried entire breakfast sandwich.
Alrighty. So 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 there were days like where you knew that you were awake, but then there was other days where like you didn't know you were awake, like you
Yeah,
thought you were still in the dream. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. No, I have really bad experiences with that too. I would be uh like I've woken up again, I explained this in the last one, but I would wake up with like bruises or like um scratches or just like in places that like I physically could not reach. Um and like my no doctor, my mother, no one's ever been able to like figure out. And I didn't have pets like a dog or like it's not like, oh, my cat or my dog scratched me. No, no, no. I didn't have pets when I was little. I still don't have pets. I didn't grow up with really any type of pet other than like lizards. And trust me, it wasn't that because it was during a time like where I was like, too young. Um, that it was before the time that my mother got stuff like that. Um, but no, I would, yeah. So like there would be like scratches on my back. Um, and things and bruises and stuff. But no, so like I also have I call them are like my waking like nightmares basically. And like
Hmm.
half of my brain like knows that I'm awake, but it can't fully comprehend that I'm awake because in my head, like in the other part of my I what I think it is that my subconscious is still feeding into my conscious like side of my brain saying, "No, you're still asleep, so we're still going to play out." So like half of my like mind would still be in the dream and like it would see everything that was happening like in the dream still. And I'd wake up sometimes like just sometimes it'd be like paralyzation, like sleep paralysis. Sometimes it would be like I could
Hmm.
move, I could talk, but there like you could tell like there was something wrong with me. And like again, like I said last time, like I'm basically like at the point where I'm literally about to try anything to get rid of my nightmares because they have never stopped for me. 26 and I still have like the worst case of like night terrors and uh just nightmares in general that like all of my doctors who've like specialized in this that have talked to me have like ever seen. So no, I totally get that. It's terrifying. Fucking
No, yeah.
terrifying. But
See, I still,
no, go
sorry,
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I still actually, when I have like night terrors or even regular
Hmm.
dreams where I'm injured in some sort of way,
Yeah.
it'll show up on my body.
Yeah, no, same. Absolutely fucking same. Yeah.
I even I think I showed a picture in one of the servers that we're in, um where in the dream my arm had been cut off, and when I got up, and mind you, like I didn't have, like everyone was like maybe it was a bra strap, maybe it was like your shirt. I didn't have anything on but a blanket, so there was no way
No,
for
yeah. No, because I've had that shit happen to me too. Like, I'll go into my really bad dream that I've had recently, and it's very grotesque. And again, like I'm gonna have to really cut it down because it is like absolutely terrifying. Um, but no, and I wasn't even like in that physical dream. Like it was more so me. Like I'll have nightmares where I am more like I can be like it'll almost be like I'm watching a movie, but I'm in the movie, but it's like I'm like a specter. Like so like
Oh,
I'm not floating above. I'll like it'll be almost like I'm a camera and there'll be different angles and but I'll still be or sometimes it'd be like my ghost possessing a body and I'll see it from maybe their perspective for a moment or two, but then it'll jump and it'll go to someone else's perspective. Um and I also have to finish my like all of my dreams have to be finished at some point. There's only one, which again is in the other podcast. Go listen to it because again this is part two. But yeah, they'll like all of them have to finish. And I'm absolutely terrified of this next dream. It's very recent. Uh but yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. Like I believe I had it like last week and oh my gosh. But no, I've had like entire like limbs cut off and I'll have like marks, like clean like circles or like, jagged lines of like whatever, cut that part of my limb. Like there'll be like a line
yeah,
there for like a day or two. Yeah. So I totally
yeah.
get it. It's terrifying. It's terrifying what like your subconscious mind can do to the physical part of your body. And there's not that many studies on it. Um, because it's just because like you can't be inside someone else's mind. So it's just like how do
Hmm.
you, kind of study it when like you just don't know what's going on. Some people like don't even remember, like of what happened, but they'll have like marks. So yeah, yeah, I fucking yeah. Do you ever get
Yes,
like
I
you'll
can.
wake up and you'll have like a bruise or something, like a deep bruise because of something that happened in a nightmare, and like it'll hurt for like days afterward? Because that's happened to me.
See, here's the thing. That's what's hilarious because like I never really bruised or like cut easily like
Mhm.
in normal circumstances, right?
Mhm.
But like
Okay.
when I dream
Yeah.
and like something causes a bruise or a cut in the dream, like
Mhm.
there have been times where I woke up and like the mark was so deep that there actually like was a cut there, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
how did and at what could I have possibly done in my
Yep.
sleep that
Right.
caused this?
Y'all
Right.
just
No,
built
absolutely.
different. Y'all built different. I fucking swear.
Yeah, because you
Jesus
don't
Christ.
really you don't really have dreams at
Yeah,
all,
nah, I'm
Zenji.
chilling. I'm
Yeah,
just
you don't
fucking.
really.
Dang,
Yeah,
you're
no,
low key
Zen.
lucky.
I know.
I'm
That's what I
low-key
told him last time. I
lucky.
was like, "You're fucking lucky," because it's not fun.
I
No,
don't.
I
You know what?
usually.
Nah, but like the good dreams are great. Like some weird shit happens and like it's all an adventure and I'm so excited. But like
Hmm.
then the other stuff and I'm just
Then the
like,
other stuff
No,
happens.
I
who
get that.
sent you?
Yeah, no,
These
I get
these
that.
memories are supposed to be repressed. Why are you bringing them up in my subconscious state of sleep?
Hey,
I
it
rarely
happens.
do this. Why?
I barely do this.
Uh, yeah, no, I get that. I like. I like I barely ever have good dreams. Like almost all of my dreams that I remember are all nightmares. They're never like good. Like there's very few times. Like if I have a good dream, I immediately like write it down in my journal because I'm just and I like date it and I even write like the time that I woke up, like if I can, or at least the time that I wrote it because it's so few and far in between and it's at random times too that like yeah, honestly, I'm surprised I'm not more fucking crazy from like how bad my dreams are and how frequently I have them.
No, I
But yeah.
understand. Oh, have you ever this was fun. This was a really like traumatizing point in my childhood. Have you ever had had a dream or a series of dreams where everyone around you who you cared about died, and
Yeah.
then soon after, the person would actually talk about death to you?
So,
Hmm?
yes and no.
Oh.
So there have been dreams. There was one in the last podcast, which again, I explained more in detail about that. I have that same dream a lot, but there's been time like I actually dreamed. So I both my grandfathers both passed away due to cancer. But I had dreams almost exactly a week before both of them died of them dying. Like I knew when they were dying. Almost to like and I don't want to be like, "Oh, I'm psychic." No, no, no. Like we all knew that they were dying. Like they were
Mm.
bedridden in hospitals or whatever. But I would have dreams literally like a week before, and I would just know. I'm like, all right, they're dying next week, and I knew, and I just in my bones, like I knew that's what was happening. So it was more of like no one really talked about death to me, but people died. So like I had actual like
Mm.
deaths, and then and then just people sometimes like around me would die. Like I'd have a really bad like just horrible like death dream and specifically about death, not just like a grotesque dream like the one I'm about to like share or anything, but like about like a specific person and they would literally die within that year.
Mm.
So I've had like actual deaths happen to me, and I don't have to be close to the person either. And it's always like that specific person that dies too. Um,
I feel that.
yeah.
Like,
So I've had that happen, but not anybody talk about death. But I've been around a lot of people who have died. That sounds really bad, but yeah.
no, I
So
understand that. I spent a lot of my childhood at funerals.
yeah. So see, it wasn't really my childhood. It was in my high school years that I spent a lot of time with. Like a lot of my friends died, or people that I knew that died, who went to my high school, and
Mm.
um, yeah. So that kind of
See,
happened.
if if I had a dream about like somebody around my age close
Hmm.
to me like being harmed, they would end up being harmed. Like a lot of my nightmares or a lot of my like very strange like
Hmm.
off the wall dreams, like the strangest thing in the dream that you never think would happen in real
Hmm.
life are always the parts that end up happening within the next few like it always was in like the next 2 months. Like it would
Mm.
happen. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
how did this series of events
Lead
like
up to
how did
this.
this play out
Yeah.
in real life? Like what is
Right. Yeah.
down to the T sometimes? And I'm just like, this
Yeah.
isn't this is not real life. Like this right here cannot physically be real life. Like how is
Mhm.
who signed me up for this VR video game? Because I did not consent. I
What the fuck?
would like to get out of the simulation, please. Uh, you could hear me. Let me out, please.
You can hear me? Let me out.
But yeah, stuff like that is why, like, it took me a very long time to like feel like I was actually living
Mhm.
something, if
Mm.
that makes any sense. Like,
No, it does. No, it does. It does to me at least. Yeah. I don't
yeah,
want to speak for Zen.
Hmm?
because in my
I don't
Sorry.
want to say, oh my gosh, pay attention. No, I didn't want to like be like, oh yeah, it makes sense when like I don't know if it makes sense to you or not. That's
Oh no,
why I
it
said I
makes
don't want to
sense.
speak for you. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, um,
No, yeah. When I was little, there were times where like I didn't know if I was awake or sleeping or yeah, because it was just very real. Um, so I get that. I get that.
Mm.
Um, so I'll talk about my dream. Uh, so this is a very wild ride. So just okay. So how the dream starts is very strange to begin with. Starts with a mother, her two children. One of them is blind and has a birthmark on their arm, specifically their left arm. So, and it's her youngest. So they meet up with another woman in the park. And I remember very specific details about this dream, but it's too much detail that like I'm not going to go into. So this is kind of like the dumbed down, very short version. So they meet up with this other woman in the park who has, oh, and the first woman, she has two boys. The other woman has, um, also has a young boy, and this is very important detail um, that kind of goes into like what happens later. But the second woman has a young boy with brown hair, and the haircut is kind of like it's a little longer and it's almost like a bob. But it's still like a because they're very young. They're probably like 3 to 4 years old. Again, this
Mm.
detail will play out in the dream later on. Um, and the other boy is blonde and has a very kind of um, it's straight but still kind of messy bedhead type of hair. Um, Not like textured, but just like his hair just needs like a haircut kind of thing. Um, so the and he's also blind, so just remember that that also comes into play. So the oldest boy is just playing on the playset, just whatever. The two young ones are in the sandbox, and their mothers are with them. And the blind boy who's blonde, remember, uh, he turns to his mother. So me in the dream, I'm not in this dream at all. Like I'm just like I said, like I'm basically like a camera or a specter, like in the dream. But I'm in so but right now my camera or my eye vision of how I'm looking at things is from this one mother's perspective. Okay, so she's looking at her child, the blonde blind boy, and I remember him turning to her and saying, "Mama," and she touches the arm, excuse me, with her right hand on his left arm, like where he has the birthmark. Instantly transports to me to a courtroom. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now I'm in a courtroom and I'm sitting um in like one of the places like where you would I'm basically like a reporter like listening to like this court case, and the court case is being played out, and basically what's happening is that it's playing out the story of this girl. She gets brutally murdered and mutilated by her classmates, and her family is now on trial for killing um so there's about 10 classmates, I believe, um that killed her, and no one really knows why they did this. I'll go into more theories of like what I think happened, but the mother is sitting in like the hot seat, like in the I can't remember court terms right now, but she's sitting like she's being like prosecuted against, and she's like in that seat, and they're talking to her, and uh she is a bigger woman, has, and again, this goes into play later, has she files her teeth down to like spikes basically. Um, and then she has the girl that got murdered, her father and her sister are in the like are also like defendants who are being prosecuted against, and they're sitting like on the other side of like the courtroom, like with with their lawyers and stuff. And I don't know how they murdered anybody yet. I just know how the mother murdered somebody, and I'll go into that later. Okay, so I'm in this courtroom. So it's talking about the mother, how she killed one of the classmates. Instantly transports me again. Sometimes this happens in my dreams to her daughter, who has the same haircut as the young boy from before, but it's a girl, and she has short brown hair, and it's cut like a bob, and she's dancing with a boy who looks like a grown-up version of the blind boy, but he's not blind. He has longer hair, and it's a little bit curly, but basically kind of the same sort of look as the young boy who's blind. And um so they're like dancing like in like this room, and they're talking about being on a class trip with their classmates, like a senior trip basically. And he's just like, "Oh, you want to prank them? Like, let's prank them whenever they get back from like the lake or whatever." And she's like, "Okay." He's like, "Let's pretend I killed you." And she's like, "Okay, cool."
Huh?
So yes, and this is where it gets really bad. So they go and they get an actual knife from the kitchen, and he's like, "All right, grab the bottle of ketchup and like strawberry sauce, and we'll just cover you in it, and we'll put makeup on your neck, like as if like I stabbed you or like sliced your head off." And she's like, "Okay, cool." And then he's like, "All right, go sit on the couch, and we'll just," and they're like laughing, they're whatever. And then they hear everyone coming back in from like the other side of the house. He's like, "Okay, shh, like pretend you're dead, pretend you're dead." So she's sitting on the couch, and she's like laying there, and she's got her legs spread open. She's wearing a skirt and like a white top, okay? And she's just like laying there as if like she's dead, and he's holding the knife and he has it smeared in like the strawberry ketchup stuff that so that it looks like blood. All of her classmates come in, and they see her on the couch, and they all start laughing maniacally. Like they all think that this kid actually murdered her. Well, then some really crazy shit happens. So then they all like are like, "Oh my gosh, she's dead. Ha, that bitch, that blah blah blah." Like basically just start talking really awful things about her, calling her names, like heinous, awful names. And she then is like, "Wait, guys, like I'm not dead." This other so the guy that looks like, the grown-up version of the blonde boy, he starts laughing. And he's like, "You're right, like you're not really dead, but we're gonna make you dead." And he hands the knife off to somebody else. They stab her in the left shoulder and like drag the knife down. Well, then all the boys basically line up and start doing things to this girl that are not appropriate. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. So they all start doing that to her, and then all the girls line up that are in that group and start stabbing her. And I'm seeing all of this like very visually, very grotesque, seeing like the blood and just visually like just everything. I'm not like possessing anybody at this point. I'm just watching all this happen. Like they cannot see me. I'm invisible. Like I'm not participating in this. I'm not the girl. It's literally just me watching this happen. So they're all basically just stabbing this girl, mutilating her, whatever. So at one point then after that, after she's finally, oh
Bless you.
bless you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. Um, so after this point, she's being mutilated and hurt. They, she ends up dying, and the last guy, we're just gonna say, finishes, and then another guy takes the knife and starts cutting off her head. Again, very grotesque, very visually. I'm watching this happen. Drags her head across the couch, spraying her blood everywhere. Her body drops, like headless body drops onto the couch, and they prop it back up, and then he places her head back, and then basically she looks not like the prank that the two people like I call him the mastermind, or like the person that's like leading the whatever the person that started all of this with the prank, basically looks how she would have for the prank, but now she's like actually. Well, somehow her family finds out about this. I don't know if they discover her body or what. I don't really know what happens. Again, like it's just kind of this is kind of all out of order, very like transported back. So now this is kind of this is start when I start waking up. And um the so now I'm possessing the body of one of the girls, one of the main girls who like doesn't like this girl and who helped murder her daughter. The mother like comes into her bedroom and is like screaming her daughter's name, saying, "You murdered her! You murdered her! So you want to have You want to be murdered? You want to have a murder?" Like screaming, like just like awful, awful things at this girl. And this girl is like, just like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. She's like, I saw the video or whatever. Because I guess they like recorded the video like on their cameras or whatever, like of the murder happening. And the mother like comes in and like barges in, starting from the feet, starts basically gnawing at this girl, eats this girl alive, and kills her that way. That's literally how this girl dies. And you can just hear all of the noises and like the chomping. Like I'm hearing all this in my head, like as I'm sleeping. So transported back into like the courtroom, and like you just see the mother like basically screaming this again. And I kind of wake up, but there's been parts of like the dream that like I've had in the beginning that like um the reason that the guy has that birthmark, the little kid has that birthmark, is because before she died, the girl scratches his arm deeply, like trying to get away from, because he like whispers something to her of like, you deserved this, bitch, like while she's being mutilated. And like the thing is too is that like the boys that are doing things to her body, they do it before, after, and during like the murder. So like just think about that for a moment. Like her headless body is still being stuff
Yeah,
too.
that's
So it's just like that was what that literally happened like a week and a half ago. Like that's the dream that I had like a week and a half ago or like 2 weeks ago or whatever. Yeah. It's very recent. Very scared to go back to sleep because that dream is not done. I still have two more of her family members and it's still gonna play out. I still have like the mom is, it's kind of like as if like I'm the mom seeing all this happen like in the past life of these two young boys. So I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is gonna happen after I get through this court case, basically know how all of like they kill all of these other classmates. And then yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, it was the most, probably the most grotesque, disgusting dream I've had in a very long time. Like nightmare. It's not a dream, it's a nightmare. But yeah. And I was like I was so terrified I could not move for like, it was like hours. Like it was bad. Like I could barely like cover my face. And I like didn't come out of my room for like hours after the dream. Like I was too scared to go into the hallway because I thought that like the mom would be there and like trying to eat me, even though I've never done anything like that in my life. But yeah, it was terrifying. So I have like, my dreams are like very visual, very like detail orientated, like dreams, and like things will like come up in them or will be repeated like throughout the dream
Yeah, I
or
fucking
nightmare
hate your
really.
dreams.
Yeah, I agree with Zen on this one.
Yeah, I fucking hate them. This
Yeah,
is the
and I
second
don't,
time I
and
heard it, and I still don't fucking like it.
yeah, no. The thing is too is that like I'll have like, I don't watch scary movies. I don't really do, I don't like watch a lot of true crime. I keep myself very far away from that stuff because like I know I would have way worse dreams, and even like I would have my nightmares way more frequently than I already do now, that like I would literally be like, honestly, like in a mental ward, and I do not mean that lightly. Like I could not like live, I don't think, if I had the nightmares that I have, if I
Uh,
did watch that type of stuff.
you
So
want to
yeah.
know what I did? I started watching more true crime.
Oh
Oh,
my
see,
god!
no, I can't. I no, I cannot.
Did it
It
make it
wasn't
better
my
or worse,
fault
Kitty?
though. It wasn't my fault though because my mom was obsessed with watching like those oxygen movies and
Oh,
like
jeez.
True ID TV or whatever, the True Crime
Yes, my
TV.
dad likes that too.
And like she, she didn't want to watch it by herself, so we would watch it together, and it
Oh,
would only
hell
make
no.
things worse.
Yeah, no. Hell no.
Um,
See, the other thing too is that I can't watch some of those because I actually know personally one, like I know murderers. Like I went to school with murderers, and I also went to school with like the victim of who they killed. So like that happened in my
that's
life.
no
That'll be
fun.
another, yeah, that'll be another podcast. But yeah, so I can't. So like I had like a physical, mental, emotional connection to like the victims of like I just yeah. Which is why like when people watch when they're like, "Oh, I love true crime" or whatever, and it's just like they kind of like romanticize it. I'm just like, do you not understand that like
No.
these are real
Mm-mm.
fucking people?
No.
Like they died. They
Nah.
fucking died.
Nah.
And I
I
hate that.
watch true crime for two reasons. One, to figure out all the escape routes for and like the various ways that people will either try to kidnap, kill, or otherwise harm me. And
Mhm.
then also, in the case that I got the body has been discovered. In, a body's not going to be discovered. I'm trying to make sure I don't leave any of the traces. Like,
Mhm.
if you come after me with the intent to kill, I feel like I have every right to give you the same intent. And if I happen to be the victor of this, I'm not it it's not going to look like self-defense at that point. It's going to be self-defense, but I'm going to make sure that like you get every
They
single
dead.
piece.
They dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will be a missing person for the rest of your life. Like no piece of your body will ever be found.
No, I
You'll just be
honestly
forgotten in the wind.
I'll
Sorry.
I feel the same. Like if you're gonna come at me and like you're trying to kill me, it's on. Like Donkey fucking Kong, like no. I cannot. I refuse. I'm not gonna die from being murdered or harmed in any type of way like that. No sir. No ma'am. No
Like
no no them. No no no.
my
Not happening.
my dad was very much into training me into having a weapon in every single area. Like
Oh yeah.
one near the bed, one in the closet, two in the bathroom. Like like just
Yeah.
everywhere. You got plenty in the kitchen. You just gotta have something everywhere, but not where somebody will see it. Something inconspicuous, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, but then I started going through hormones, so he was like, maybe I shouldn't let you know where the gun is.
Well,
Yeah.
puberty is awful for
So
everyone.
see,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
no, yeah.
Don't drink before your legal age, kids. It's
Oh,
that
righty.
leads to a lot of bad decisions. A lot of bad decisions. A lot of bad
Um,
decisions that I'll be talking about on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's
plug.
yes, shameless plug. It's gonna be Abukitty. I'm actually gonna be having my first video out, hopefully not too long after this. I keep saying I'm a lie until it actually comes out, so I'm a lie on their podcast too, so I have more people to hold me accountable. If you don't see anything in like a week and a half from me, blow up my Twitter. It's Abukitty. My Instagram is Abukitty. My YouTube is Abukitty. I'm pretty sure I'm Abukitty on Snapchat too, but I don't post anything there. Blow me up. Show me receipts. Get all up in my ass. I dare you. Do it.
Do it.
I dare you. You won't.
Go,
But
bro.
yeah, I plan to be posting a video about all my paranormal experiences. Some of them have to tie into like some of my nightmares. And those are fun. Having nightmares and then waking up and then the thing was actually happening in your room and like you could tell that it was real life because like at that point I was so scared. Okay, mind you, I was a child, okay? But like at that point I was so scared I had wet myself and I didn't know where the fuck to go. Like what am I supposed to do when you have a dream that like porcelain dolls are like out to kill you and they are
Oh,
mangling your body. They are
no.
torturing you. And it's the same porcelain dolls that your dad collects and lines up in the closet, which is why I left the closet door closed. But that day, one of the bulbs went out in my like sink area in my bathroom, so I left the closet door slightly cracked open. And when I woke up from this nightmare, there were there I had there was a doll on the pillow next to me, and the rest
Oh,
were lined up at the foot of
fuck
my
no.
bed.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Mm-mm. No. No, 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 no. Oh no. I had to literally get up and like walk away for a second. No, 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 no. I don't know. Listen. If y'all are from the 90s, I have a story like that too with the doll. Y'all know what Furbies were? Fucking demonic ass toys. Let me tell you something. No, no, no. I don't fucks with that type shit. Okay, like hell no. I
This
don't have a
is
fear of dolls, but no, hell no.
that was what instilled. I don't trust statues, dolls.
Oh hell no.
Uh,
Hell no. Listen,
I
I've
went
watched
to
Doctor Who. Weeping Angels? No sir.
yeah, no,
No fucking way.
them junks need to die
Mm-mm.
immediately. I went to Netherworld, and so they had uh and this is not meant to be offensive at all. They had midgets dressed up as gnomes, right? Because
Oh
those
no.
lawn gnomes are like low key a fear for people. So I was just like, okay, yeah, it's like a miniature statue, but it's just a statue. I'll be fine. This is so I'm passing by them and I'm like, it's fine. They're not real. Just don't touch me. Just don't touch me. Just don't fucking touch me because if you touch me, I'm gonna have to go against my like signature that I signed up at the front and I'm gonna have to cause a liability. Just don't touch me. I'm scared of you already. Um, and as I was leaving the room, one decided to be a little dick and grab my
Oh
leg.
hell no.
So what the
Hell
fuck?
no.
It
Mm-mm.
took the
No.
ever
No.
loving, like the entire hand of Jesus had to come down from heaven and hold me back, bro, because I almost donkey kicked him straight in the forehead. Um,
Listen. You have to do what you have to do to survive out here, okay? And don't fucking touch me, okay? Like you will be slapped. Like I know. Like here's the thing. I'm not really scared of haunted houses. Like I think they're actually kind of fun. I don't really you would think that I'd be one of those people that would get really scared, but I think because I've done theater for so long cuz I was a theater kid and like I have done haunted houses before, like I'm just like, it's an actor, like it's fine. But don't fucking touch me though. Like I don't like to do the ones that where like they can touch you because it's just like I
yeah,
will backhand the fuck out of you. Like it's not happening because it's just like if you come at me and you about to touch me, I don't like being touched by people I don't know. I'm a
but
very
you want to know
touchy
this?
feely. No, fuck that. I would have
I
kicked
feel
him,
that.
honestly. I would have
But
kicked
you
him.
want to know the scariest part?
Oh god,
So
what?
I jumped I jumped forward
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I'm trying to escape, but there's people in front of you, people behind you, you're just kind of blocked in. And
Mhm.
there was this lady in front of me, and this isn't the first time I had kind of jumped forward and accidentally like bumped into her trying to like run away from stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
she turned around, she was like, "This is the last fucking warning. If you touch me again, these things are going to be the last thing you're going to be scared of because I will knock the ever loving lights out of you before you can even turn the fuck around and realize what you did." I was like, bro, what? So I'm scared and I'm about to have to fight. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know
Um,
why that I don't understand haunted houses that like do that though. That like put you in groups of people that like or make you go in a line like that because it's just like you know everyone's gonna be scared. Like there's gonna be bumping and everything. Like I don't understand group like people that like go in groups
yeah,
they don't know or
but there
like
was a
they or
group
like
of
haunted house that don't
there was a
that's
couple of guys behind us that were wearing like sweatshirts and they were like, "Hey, if you need to, you can just like grab our hoodies. Like we'll just go in front of you because like I'm not about like this lady looks like she could knock you out in 0.25 seconds flat. Not trying to watch that. Just get behind
Yeah.
me. I'll be okay if you grab my sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, that's
yeah.
sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that noise. That no. Hell no. I
Yeah, nah.
I can't do the grabbing thing. Like, hell no. I like even like going back to like the nightmares, like I feel like it's even like in my nightmares, like if someone is touching me, like I feel it. And it's just like, oh, like I fit like you know how people are like, oh yeah, you can't like feel anything in your dreams. Bitch, you're wrong. Like,
No, you
I
feel
feel
it.
everything. I feel
Bitch, you're
You
everything.
wrong.
feel
Like
it.
like hell no. Like I feel all that ish. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I have literal like bruises and fucking like scars like on my body. Like as I'm speaking to both of you. Like I have literal like scratch marks like on my body. And there's like scratch marks where like no like I cannot physically reach like on my body. So it's just like no.
See, yeah, that's why I'm
No.
glad I started doing things to be able to have more control in my dreams.
I've literally
Uh,
done everything except for hypnosis and exorcism. Those are the only two things I haven't done yet. And like a sleep study. But like even
you
then
said
I had to
exorcisms.
listen, I'm not at that point. I'm 26 fucking years old, almost 27, and I still have these awful nightmares. Like they need to go. Like I don't know if it's
No,
a
I feel
ghost,
that.
a demon, or what, but it needs to leave like ASAP because I can't go through another like 70 years of this bullshit. Like hell no. 60 to 70 years of this bull no. Fuck off. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. It's not happening. Do whatever it fucking
I
takes to get rid of
feel
these fucking nightmares. And here's the thing too is that they wouldn't be so bad if they were not so fucking visual. That's my problem too is that like I don't know if you have like I remember details that like people like in like good dreams don't even remember details like I do like
Nope.
and I remember even in like my few like really good dreams that I do have and I do like I'm my dreams are so vivid and so like again like when I was like I really dumbed down the one dream that I was talking about. Like it is very grotesque.
It's
Like
mm,
it's
think of a horror
completely and
movie.
utterly fucked.
Like I went into more detail with Zen and
I hate it.
he was like, I don't feel good. And I was and he's like, you had to witness
Did you
that?
not?
Yeah, you did say that.
I
You're like,
didn't. I
I don't like
no.
this. Like you're like, I don't feel good inside or something. Like you said something like that. And I was like, I don't know. And he didn't know what the fuck he was signing up for either. He was just like, you want to talk about it? I'm like, well, it's really bad. And he didn't realize how bad it
When
how
actually
bad,
when
was.
you say
yeah.
bad, I never think it's that bad.
Like it's like watching like the worst
But that was
horror movie.
really, really bad.
And this is Zen saying this.
Like fuck, bro.
Yeah.
What? No,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
And like I described like how they would cut her and like Zen was like, "Oh god, like no." Like no.
Yeah, you ain't gotta be
Yeah.
doing all that. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
But yeah, like but that's how vivid like all of my dreams are. And like I'll remember details of like what people were wearing and like yeah. Like you guys saw like I remembered the haircut of like these people and just like but yeah, so like it's basically like they're the two kids are like the reincarnations or whatever of like the other two people and it's just like I'm terrified for what happens like when they grow up or like if they remember this or something. And I feel like the blind boy like knows what happened and like he's punished in this life for like because of what happened like for like and that's why he's blind. And I don't know why yet. um I don't know if it's like another injury that like one of the other two of like her family, like the ones who killed everybody, like are being. I have no idea, but it. Yeah, no, it's fucking yeah. But I do know, and like the thing is too, like I'll get senses of things too that have happened. Like I'll get like I didn't see the mother's horrified face because again, it's like as if like I'm her like watching all of this too. So it's like so I'm basically experiencing as like two people. I'm experiencing as like me who's like
Mm-hmm.
making this dream, but then I'm also experiencing as like the mother. So like the main character, I like to call her like let's just say she's like the main character, like main character of the dream. She's experiencing
Mm-hmm.
all of this kind of like as like how I'm experiencing like as like that spectator or whatever. So when she possesses like that girl that's being eaten in the very horrible way that she is, like I heard the sounds and like the slurps. Like that's how visual that shit is. Um she like we both possess this girl and it's just like yeah. So that'll be something that like
I hate it here.
yeah. So it's bad. It's really bad. So I don't
Try
know if your
horrendous.
stuff goes into that. I don't know if the like if your dreams are that visual or that like in detail if you remember things, Kitty.
See, I okay, so the one dream that like helps me explain this is like my 7 layers of hell dream.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Um,
Zen's like, I hate it here. Why did I agree to do this?
so like so like certain parts of my dream I experience in first person
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of my dreams, like most of my dreams, like I'm in it in some way,
Mm-hmm.
shape, or
Mm-hmm.
form. Um, and then parts of it I experience in like third person
Mm-hmm. Like you're
or like
watching it happen.
yeah, or like sometimes it's second person where it's like I am the
Mm.
person talking to me and it's like I can feel how they feel, but like I can see that I don't feel like
I
I
get what you're
don't
saying. I get what you're
understand.
saying. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like I had okay, so when I was younger, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob because it was a boys show
Oh yeah.
and it promoted ignorance and insolence and just not anything good. And somebody made a sermon comparing the SpongeBob characters to the 7 deadly sins, and then it made it even more banned in my house. Um, and there was one night where I like stayed up and it was on, and I
Mm.
watched an episode, and immediately, my dreams decided to punish me. So my my dream said, "Okay, so I'm going to like take you through the 7 deadly sins, but like as layers of hell,
Mm-hmm.
as like the worst way that you personally can experience them, and the ones that cause you the most trauma, you have to physically watch yourself have it happen and then experience it."
Oh, fucking lovely.
Oh well, this is just fucking glorious.
So like I
Zen's
That's
like,
watched
all.
it
I
and
hate
it's
it.
like I
And
watch it and it's like I can't feel it, but I like feel like I empathetically like feel
Mm-hmm.
like bad for my own body. Like I recognize this is my mutilated body. And then
Oh
all of
my
a sudden it's like I just flash into it and I feel
god. Ooh.
everything. I feel everything. And it went from like the least to the most that I personally have like
Mm-hmm.
indulged in these sins.
Oh
Um, because I
no.
mean, we're all human.
Right. No,
We all,
absolutely. We've all sinned.
uh, we've all sinned in one way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
7 deadly sins, 7 layers of hell. But they were introduced by like SpongeBob characters. I can't
Oh
remember
my
which
gosh.
is which right now. I might
That's
remember
okay.
some, but I don't remember
Yeah.
which is which.
Okay.
Um, do. The least that I was I think was greedy. I think greed was first.
Okay.
Because I was always just like really giving to like everybody in normal life.
Mhm.
So greed was first, and it was Mr. Krabs, and he was just kind of like introducing me to the entirety of what was gonna happen um to me.
Mhm.
So like, welcome to the first layer of hell. This is greed. Luckily enough for you, you tend to not be as greedy of a person, but you have been greedy, yada yada yada. Each layer of hell will get progressively worse, and it will be more and more intense. And at the end, it may just come with you to the real world. And I was like, excuse me?
Oh, for fuck's
Oh my
sakes.
gosh.
He gave me a warning that like
Jeez.
some of these effects would be real. And I was
Oh
like,
my
all right,
gracious me.
this is fine. I don't remember what I had to do for greed. Um, I think it was just like me eternally begging for like attention or just like basic things, like basic necessities, and then
Mm.
just being ignored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's not just like, I want attention. It's like, I literally need sustenance to survive. You
Yeah.
literally have a pile of food in your hands, but you're acting like you can't see or hear me,
Oh,
and I'm
that's
dying.
yeah. No, 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 I get you. I get you.
The next was doo-doo-doo. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You're fine.
The next was anger.
Mm.
So it
So
was
wrath.
essentially like, yeah, the next was wrath. So essentially everybody who had wronged me in my life, like I had like created a plan to like get the ultimate revenge, and I like pulled out the ultimate revenge, but then as soon as like the the person was harmed, like
Mhm.
I'd look at their face and it turned into like somebody
Yourself.
like my mom.
Oh shit, that's even worse.
So like at one point I had to kill my own mother on repeat,
Jeez.
and that I
That's
don't
not fun.
don't talk to a 13-year-old the morning after they've had to kill their mom 7 times in a row. Uh that's that's a different kind of wake up call. Uh anyway, I had to kill my little brother at one point. Yeah, it was just a lot.
Mhm.
The next was envy,
Mhm.
and it was just like I lived in like a nicer neighborhood, so like I didn't really have much to like want for, but like I had friends who lived in mansions with whole movie theaters and just like guest suites and bars in their basement. Like
Mhm.
I was just like, dang, I wish my parents were like that well off.
Mhm.
But other than that, I really don't like, I want to play video games. I was mainly envious of not being able to do boy stuff. Like I wasn't allowed to like football. So it was just like all the things that I've ever wanted that I wasn't allowed to have are literally just around me. And I
Ah.
if I touched it, all of my skin would like melt. It
Oh,
would like dissolve. It was like burning acid.
that's awful.
Yeah. And I didn't know until I touched things, but it would just be in front of me. And
Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't realize that my skin would start melting until I touched something, and it wouldn't just be all at once. It would start at the point that touched or brushed against the item, and then would slowly fizzle throughout the entirety of my body, and then cover the entirety. And then once it got to the other side, it would start to heal, but like patchily and painfully.
Hmm.
Jeez.
Next was pride, because I already had low self-esteem, so like the few things that I knew I could do well, I it
Mhm.
just I was told multiple times about how I literally was nothing and all the things that like I thought I was good at were trash, and then they would just be rejected. I would be rejected. Endless cycle of that. Uh there's there's some childhood traumas that I'd rather not get into, but that was thrown into my face very much in
Hmm.
that layer,
Mhm.
and that was that was something to get through.
Mhm.
And then there's gluttony. I have a fast metabolism, so I like eat a lot, but like
Mhm.
because I have a fast metabolism,
Hmm.
I used to be able to like eat away my pain and then not gain weight.
Hmm.
But then because I would not gain weight, I could also not eat for a week, and nobody could tell because I would look the same weight.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it was literally just eating and then never getting full.
Oof.
And then just watching everything fall out of me, and then getting to a point where there's just no food, and then just being starving. Just
Oof.
starving.
Jesus.
I,
That's awful.
and I was there for like months, it seemed like. I like part of me knew I was still in a dream,
Mhm.
but I was there for months.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just
Like
starving.
time's different and yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, staring at people across the table just eating. And then when I did get to eat food, it was nothing.
Mhm. Like it
And
didn't
then,
satisfy that
that made me
hunger.
depressed, and I just wanted to eat away my feelings, and that didn't do anything.
Mhm.
Hmm.
uh, then there was lust.
Mhm.
Uh, that's kind of hard to explain because that also has to do with like childhood traumas.
I think we can get the gist of that one of what could happen in that one.
Yeah, yeah, but essentially, this is where my body actually started like feeling things even more,
Mhm.
past the skin burning acid, uh and it was just people using weapons in ways that they shouldn't use weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh
Hmm.
last is sloth. I'm a lazy bitch, you know. I like to. Yes, my name is Abukitty. It's not because I'm cat-like. It means impatient, but also I like to lay in my bed. That is the place I feel the safest. So I was just kind of stuck in my bed, unable to do anything. Like, I like to do things. I like to do a lot of things. I'm always doing things. But when I'm not doing things, I'm in bed. But it
Okay.
was like I was stuck in bed, unable to do things. Not because I didn't
Mhm.
want to do things, but I needed to get things done. And I was just stuck in bed, just drowning, like suffocating. Uh, my skin was like forming to the bed. And
Oof. Jeez. That's
it
awful. That's really rough.
it was the weirdest, like, actual physical feeling. Like, feeling like your skin is coming off of itself and just forming to fabric. And then being replaced by, I don't know. I don't know. But I think it was like plankton that ended it off. Was it? No, it wasn't plankton that ended it off.
That sounds horrible. Like
Yeah,
just
no, it was like a mutant combination of all of them put together. Uh, yeah, with the
mhm.
like pineapple hairstyle for some odd reason. I guess to keep with the SpongeBob cartoon theme, because that's what brought on all of this anyway.
Hmm.
Uh, and like I had to hold, we were at Bikini Bottom, and they were like, "Well, you've made it through all 7 layers of hell. You can return to the land of the living if you can make it to the surface of the water." We're at Bikini Bottom. I had to hold my breath until I got to the top of the ocean.
Jesus.
I barely made it. I like inhaled, and somehow in reality, I felt like I was drowning.
Mhm.
Like I woke up and like coughed and like I guess I had drowned on my own saliva or something because like I started coughing and just like watery something came out of my mouth.
No, that like your mind can do a lot, especially like in dreams. Like if you think that you're drowning, you can literally drown yourself basically. Like it's happened before to people. Like there's been cases of like people like drowning or like people who die who feel like they've been burned alive. Like there's people who've dreamt that they believe dreamt that they were burning alive, and they'll be like their skin won't turn black or anything because like obviously they weren't being burned, but like they'll have like they'll look like someone who's been burned, like the way the like your body formation, like because like you'll curl in
Yeah.
on yourself and things like that. So yeah, no, it's happened before, or what they believe. So yeah, so no, it's crazy. Like your mind can do so many things, even in the and especially I shouldn't say even in, but especially in the subconscious. Like it's crazy. That's why there's such a thing as mental illness.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's completely awful. Um, but yeah, guys, that on that note, that kind
Jesus
of
Christmas.
uh
Zen, you're so lucky that
Yeah,
you
I
so
know.
lucky. I barely even had like
You
a fucking speaking part in this shit.
yeah.
I was chilling.
How but then like because you don't have nightmares or like even really like dream that much, like how do you feel about like people like how does like when
Oh,
you
I
hear
hate
people
it.
like talk about it? Okay, that's fair.
Especially all of
That's
this.
fair.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I hate it here.
don't. Well,
Oh yeah, Kitty. What's the song of the day for you?
oh, let's see. The song of the day for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Disappear by Issues.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. All right.
Actually, I haven't heard that one before, so
I have
I'm
not either.
excited. I'm really
Well, yeah.
surprised then.
Yeah.
You hear like everything.
You know.
It's a nice little it's the end of their self-titled and their Diamond Dreams album. But the Diamond Dreams is a more acoustic version of their self-titled. They're kind of a metal band, but they
Gotcha.
kind of
Okay.
mix multiple genres in to metal.
Oh, that's cool. That's really
Gotcha.
cool.
It's yeah, it's a band I like to show people to like introduce them to the
To
world of
metal.
metal if
Yeah.
they're not really into. It's like if they're into R&B or like hip hop or uh
Hmm.
I think they even have one that's like EDM kind of flavored. And I'll just be like, all right, cool. This is the album I'll show you depending on like what style, like the speed of the music you usually listen to. It's like whether I'll go Issues or Diamond Dreams. Usually I'll start off with Diamond Dreams. But if you're already into like heavier rap or like just heavier beats in general, like let's just go to Issues.
Hmm.
Let's just have issues with issues.
No, you should have issues with issues. All
Yeah.
right. Well, damn.
Thank
I
you for being
am
here,
Yeah.
Kitty.
Thank you, Kitty.
no problem. I am Abukitty. Not a blue kitty, but Abukitty with blue hair. Uh and I'll be on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram,
It's the Instagram.
all the social medias, just not Facebook. Fuck Facebook, fuck
I feel
Zuckerberg.
it. I feel it.
Uh Sorry if I can't say that here, but I'm saying it here. Look out for a video coming soon.
Hey.
Hit me in my DMs if I don't come through. I
Mhm.
can be found as Abukitty or Abukitty1 on everything because some social media are stupid and make you put a number. I talk shit on Twitter and I post art on Instagram. That's all from me.
Hey.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank
Perfect.
you for coming again.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Kitty.
letting
Obviously,
me
love you
on.
for being here, of course.
I just kind of
You're
begged enough and now I'm
You just
here.
gotta
Thank
beg.
you. Thank you for letting this happen.
No, I'm happy that you came on. I know that we'll have some fun ones that you'll do in the future instead
Yeah.
of, like some freaky ass ones. But no, you're one of like the first like guests that we've had that was more of like a serious, like kind of not super funny topic, which is kind of
Yeah, I
nice.
was like, thanks for bringing back so much childhood trauma. I miss this. I miss this so much.
This is not my
Ah,
intention.
because fortunately, I've been able to control my dreams more, so they're not as bad of nightmares. I still get mutilated, but like, I'm okay with it at this point.
I get mutilated, but I can control it.
Yeah, it's not as bad. I still get
Jesus.
scars in the morning, but I'm I'm not scared while I'm getting cut up. It's more of a pleasant experience.
Alrighty then.
I'll save that for another podcast, I guess,
Jesus.
or one of my videos. I don't know. Check both to find out. Subscribe, like, comment.
Like, comment.
Give us 5 stars on Yelp. I don't know.
Yelp? Hello?
5
Uh,
stars on
Jesus.
Yelp. Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Kitty doesn't sleep, so Kitty doesn't speak logic sometimes.
That's okay. Yeah, no,
It'll
thank
buff
you for
up.
being on. Really appreciate it. Glad that you were here. Um, always welcome to come back. But yeah, I think that's it from us. Zen, sign us out,
I was
sir.
about to say, this has been the Domino Effect. Signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.